I'm gonna trust myself. Oh, I'm gonna love myself. I'm gonna trust myself, love myself, believe in myself like I used to. Oh.
Morning, y'all. Andrew Sullivan here, broadcasting with my main man, the notorious Johnny Free. We are coming from John Daly's in Nashville. Shout out to John Daly and his crew here doing a great job of hosting us. And Good Boy Vodka. Well, we appreciate everything you're doing to make this possible. Pretty amazing guests today. If you don't know them, meet the McLemore Boys. And
What up?
We are stoked to have you here. And I'm supposed to say, let's
go, baby. Let's go, baby. Get it.
So actually, we just met these guys in the last week.
Yeah.
In Talladega.
Yeah.
And turns out we have quite a bit in common as far as our networks. But I really want to tell you guys how much I appreciate what you do specifically on the nonprofit side and helping veteran and law enforcement organizations. And it's really near and dear to my heart. So so thank you both. But
Very welcome.
You know, I'd love for you guys to give a quick intro on what you do and why we're here. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, so we met you 2 weeks ago in Charlotte.
Feels like 10 years.
And it feels like we instantly became family because y'all came up and you're wearing a Georgia shirt. We were cooking, throwing food, and Georgia game just happened to be on. And I'm trying not to be distracted. I was trying to do my job. And we just like high-fived, didn't know each other, hung out at Charlotte. Then we met you, Dega, a couple days ago. We're the McLemore Boys, founding family of Masterbuilt Grills and Smokers. If you've ever been into a Home Depot or Lowe's or Amazon, whatever. I'll let Dad kind of say, tell the quick story of Masterbuilt history and where that came from, and then the McLemore Boys kind of came after that. So,
Over my career, professionally and personally, the one thing that I've come to know is it's not what we know only, but it's who we know and who we get to meet. And by God's grace, He has put us in front of some amazing people, Johnny, like you, just in such a short time period, introducing us to Sully and all the people that we've met through NASCAR, through our military events. It's been amazing. And our core values are faith, family, fun, food, and freedom. That's the 5 things that we live and die by. And it all started with my family. My dad, Dawson McLemore, founded Masterbuilt in our backyard in 1973. Did it as a hobby for about 3 years. In 76, quit his job at Goodyear, went full-time for about 8 years.
with 5 kids.
With 5 kids.
Quit his job.
In a rented house.
Wow. With 5 kids and 4 sons.
Must be a Navy veteran.
And this was
He was a Navy veteran.
He was a Navy
That's my
veteran.
dad.
USS Yorktown,
Yes.
which is commissioned in Virginia, or don't quote me on that, somewhere. And that was before child labor laws existed.
Oh.
And Dad was 8 years old, and he was like, "That's my labor force. I'm putting my kids to work."
I made $1 a week until I was like 14. So from 8 years old to 14, I made $1 a week, and I asked my dad for a raise one day, and he said, "Turn around and bend over." So I didn't get a raise.
Hey, does that still happen?
Yeah.
No.
Same
Making sure.
thing.
I'm married.
So from that journey, my dad made enough money to retire at the ripe old age of 46. When I was 18, graduated from high school, I took over in the business, became CEO at like 20 years old, was CEO of Masterbuilt for 37 years, 50 years in our family business. Amazing journey. And when it all began, we were just a basic backyard welding company. It's called M&M Welding. And my dad knew that we needed a brand if we were going to build a company, getting some growth just out of the backyard. So he's driving home one day from Alabama back to Georgia, and he tells this story because if you can imagine this, he said, "As I'm going down the interstate, I can see the sun setting in my rearview mirror." So he had this God moment, and he's thinking about what he could name the company, and he said a prayer to God. He said, "God, you're the master. I'm the builder. if you will help us run this family business, I'll name the company after you, which is where the name Masterbuilt actually came from.
Built by the master, man.
Built by the master. So we have lived and died by that. My mom, God bless her, she's looking down on us from heaven right now. We lost her about 15 years ago. And just instilled in us the values of doing the right thing, Christian values. My dad instilled hard work and Christian values into us. So through the hard times, and we all know in the businesses that we run, it's never a smooth ride. People ask me all the time, it's, you know, how can you explain the journey? I said, it's like a roller coaster, and it's up and down. It's thrilling. It's scary. You're deciding to do, not to do. And for some reason we get off and buy another ticket and get right back on the roller coaster and stay on it. But it's been fun. And for me, through this journey, if I could say the one thing that I love the most is meeting people. And aside from making good money, building great products, the family within our business back in the Masterbuilt days, our McLemore Boys family now with Leah and Peyton and Noble on our team, my wife Tanya, Bree helping us, John and I doing this, that's priceless.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I buy another ticket, get back on the same roller coaster ride, do it again, because we just love serving, giving back to the military, the men and women that fight to keep us in this free country. That's why freedom, it's interesting, with the whole Charlie Kirk thing happening, you know, the word freedom becomes even a bigger
It does.
name and word now. And that was already in our core values. So it was just cool for us to say that we're a part of something so amazing, and we could not do it without what y'all have done. Thank you for your services.
Thank you so much.
Everybody out there. Whew!
Yeah. So
What a ride.
So the Masterbuilt story, which is, you know, like we were just hanging with Richard Childress, and it's a similar blue collar, just good old boy redneck, and giving his life to God with a little bit of business sense, and having some good fortune and turning something amazing out from nothing. And Masterbuilt as a family business, you would always say Masterbuilt was research and development, not research and duplicate, because we wanted to build products that solve problems in our life. So we felt like they would make great problems in the everyday people's life, and we saw success from that.
Yeah.
What Dad likes to mention, sometimes didn't, is he was the youngest of 4 sons, and the reason he became CEO is because nobody else wanted it.
I was the dumbest one.
He was the dumbest one.
I wasn't the smartest one. I was the only one.
Who's laughing now?
Process of elimination.
So Masterbuilt just saw incredible, just God-led success. I think some of that's just right place, right time, right product, right time, solving everyday people's problems in the cooking space.
Yeah.
And then we brought on private equity in 2016. Dad stayed on as CEO for a couple of years, made some acquisitions, turned it over again in 2021. And most people know what happens when you sell a business for the second time. What do? They fire the family. So we joke about that because we still are ambassadors with Masterbuilt. It's a great relationship with them in Middleby. So we joke about that, but I was in my late 20s, and I was like, man, I was single. You know, I just kind of started building a farm. I was like, I need a job. And I was trying to figure out, do I go coach baseball to become a police officer? And Masterbuilt was like, well, y'all keep doing the marketing thing, because we had done some Fox News. And I was like, all right, we'll ride this for a year and we'll see how it plays out. And Masterbuilt was like, we'll pay y'all, you know, this to get on Fox. Well, I was sales at heart, and I'm like, done. Well, by April, they were like, okay, stop going on Fox. And they were like, let's think this through. And then Fox called us and was like, hey, we would love for y'all to do the concert series during the summer. And we literally, knowing nothing about it, this was 9 days before the first concert, we were like, done, what is it? And they were like, well, we need you in New York for 15 Fridays throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
9 days from now.
And I was like, let me make a few phone calls, And we made it happen. And honestly, the concert series is really kind of what helped the McLemore Boys, because at the time we had done a lot of weekend Fox and Friends, which was Pete Hegseth, Rachel Campos Duffy, Will Kane. They became real good friends of ours, which we know now. Will Kane's got a primetime show, and Pete Hegseth is Secretary of War, which I'm so thrilled for him, and he's doing a fantastic job. But before all that, we just were friends, and the Fox family is a true family. And the joke about the McLemore Boys is when we sold Masterbuilt, started doing Fox, the joke was like, what do we call ourselves? Because we joke now that we're not a boy band, right? The McLemore Boys
Damn near, though.
We're close.
He's so disappointed.
He's so disappointed. The hair.
I'm like, what?
So the joke is that Rachel would call she'd name my mom Mama Mac to the Fox family. So that's what they call her behind the scenes. And we were just the McLemores. And Pete would always, behind the scenes, like right before they come out for segment, like, what up? You're my boys. And he just jokingly was like, we got the McLemore Boys here. And it just kind of stuck. And so we're like, I guess we're the McLemore Boys. Yeah. And everybody thinks that we're brothers, which I think is a compliment to him and an insult to me. But we kind of...
Y'all been going to the blind people's place?
Yeah.
I agree.
So the McLemore Boys, honestly, just organically happened. God opened those doors for us. And I think we kind of just like, we don't know how long this ride's going to last. Those 15 Fridays, we met artists from all over the world on Fox and doing all these fun things. And I remember our first like concert series segment. We were like, man, we got no swag. We're just rednecks. We know TV, we know cooking. And so Fox knew that we were going to do a good job from a talent perspective. We literally went and printed. I had a friend of mine design a logo, this before this one. And we threw some t-shirts on. We looked like we probably didn't belong there. But I think that's what really worked out for us. Yeah. Was we related to the everyday blue collar guy. We're not chefs. We know food. We've been cooking all our lives, but we're not chefs. And we were able to just communicate in a way that was kind of organic. We were wild and crazy. And then we started high-fiving. and if you go to a Fox concert in the mornings, mind you, these are 6, 7, 8 in the morning. And when you got Flo Rida playing, he's not used to playing that early, right? And we just brought all this energy and passion to kind of that morning show atmosphere because it was outside. And we were high-fiving everybody and woo, and let's go. And so the ops guys and the camera guys, every time we show up, they're high-fiving. They're all wearing our hats. Energy. Yeah. And I think that stuck. The other thing was we started feeding people. And we would feed literally the Fox building. And they were so we'd get brought up in meetings and they just started having us back. And then that turned into a cookbook, which turned into meeting more brands and more people. And like Dad said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Mm-hmm. And when you get around a group of people that are like-minded, that love their country and aren't unashamed of that, and are working towards the same cause, which is loving your country, supporting the people who gave their life for it, sacrifice, and their families. And then what we want to do, our book is Gather and Grill. What we want to do is just give people a moment of distraction from all the bull crap out there and just have a good time. Mm-hmm. And food is a byproduct of what we do. And really it's the people, the memories and the moments that we get to share with people. So that's kind of how the McLemore Boys came into picture, because I got fired and we were like, let's ride this. And it's honestly, I can't say this enough. I pinch myself because I'm married. We got a 6-month-old now who is John 1, John 2, and my son is John Darren the McLemore III. And I just pinch myself. I'm like, man, I get to work with my dad. I've got a healthy family. And how cool is it that we get to go to NASCAR races and cook for country people and country, I'll travel the country. We work with vets, active duty, wounded warriors, and I get to do it with him. Yeah. And it's literally pinch myself. God could not have put me from the Masterbuilt journey, having worked for Masterbuilt for 15 years, to today. I look back on it because I was supposed to be the CEO, and that door got closed, and that was a weird moment in my life. To now, I'm like, he was working on something that I just didn't know what was going to happen. Yeah. And we're exactly where we need to be now. Absolutely. So it's been a wild journey because we are not the typical TV polished chef guys. We're just we like to think of ourselves just the everyday guy. Yeah, we don't do.
But that's why it works. That's why it works.
I think so. It's like
I think so.
the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, when Queen was being interviewed, they said, "Well, who is Queen?" It's like we're the misfits appealing to all the other misfits. I think that's what we are.
Yeah.
It's really great seeing you guys for the last few days and just getting to know you. And I think one of the things that's coming out right now that I've noticed is that you guys are authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made that conscious decision in my life that, you know what, I'm done with fake. I want to be around authentic people and getting to meet people like you and Johnny and some of the other folks around here. It goes a long way. And
100%.
I can relate in the nonprofit side because that's what I do now is when I go out, I'm not going out raising money. I'm going out meeting people and raising friends.
That's right.
And you guys are doing that with your company. You're going out and you're just being yourselves and they're bringing people into your network.
Man.
And the business is right behind you. It follows. It's natural, right?
You said that the other day, and I'm not going to lie, that struck an chord with me because I was like, I've never heard that before. You're like, it's not raising money, it's raising friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I have learned amongst many is you cannot fake passion.
True.
You just cannot fake it. And that authenticity, whether it's in content or business or relationships, you can't fake it. And I think that comes across people. And especially in the day and age of like content's king, and whether it's AI or all this like pushing certain narratives, is I think especially middle America, blue collar America, they just want what's real. They want real conversations, and you cannot fake passion.
Yeah.
So, and that y'all exude that. I mean, watching you network and befriend people that just, it's truly, y'all are alike in that regard. You don't meet a stranger, and meeting you and getting to know you.
I was like,
Yeah.
Johnny gets something out of a bag we were here yesterday, and I was like, "Are you getting your ADD medicine?"
Honestly, we couldn't have sat better because they're alike.
Yeah.
And there are times we're at events and the team will joke about this because I'm like, watch this. I'm like, Dad, I bet you can't get us backstage. And I just step back and watch because he's like, and he starts networking and doing his thing. And I'm probably more like you where I'm like, I want to.
I'm much more introverted than John. I just a little bit, but I tell people I'm an introvert that has a job that requires me to be an extrovert.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do it, and I think I do it well, but it's very unnatural.
You do
for
it
me.
very well.
So
It would be
I
unnatural. for me to be
wouldn't
the
have
other way.
that or thought that.
Oh, to be an introvert?
Yeah. If I was the other way and I felt caged, I would, to me, that would be, I'm
Sure.
not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, for me, it would be like I was caged or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can be caged.
I don't know that that's
because he can
possible.
slide between the bars, right? Because he's so.
Here, hold my hat. I knew. But what I like about that, though, is I think that's what we're,
About that?
the gather and the grill,
Yeah.
is we live in an era now, and that's why social media, people don't really get social media the way it is now. And what I've been learning through our stuff that we've been doing, these younger generation, they want to feel connection. The younger generation, I don't know if it's COVID made it change, because that one step up from that was they're still on their phones. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
But that one down from that is like, they're about ready to put the phones down a little bit and want to
100%.
get to know people. And I think that's what we lost in this country is people didn't gather and cook no more with each other. And so now it's easier to be mad at people because you don't have no connection with them.
Yeah, it ain't about the food. I mean,
No.
the food is a byproduct, as we say, right? It's the gathering part. What's amazing, I know we're at John Day's bar and it's Good Boy. I saw this the other day because we work with Fox and stuff, and I saw this the other day that this next generation has drank the alcohol sales. It's the lowest alcohol sales. And then there's been like a 50% increase in Bible purchases, people committing to church. The Christian faith is making a comeback, which you see that movement with Charlie Kirk's situation and all that. So I feel like that's a positive thing to see. And what's cool is old school, kind of new school, and us getting to work together, and like us knowing our strengths. And the way that we kind of operate is kind of, it's cool in that sense, but it's cool to see our country making this shift, I think,
it's very
to
cool.
connection.
Yeah.
They want to disappear, almost put your phone down. I know it's hard to do, disappear from it for a second and just get to like hang out with people.
Yeah.
I think we're missing that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see it in my kids.
So
They're in their phone all the time, and it's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
speaking of the book, this is a gift from John and I.
Yep.
It might be a little wet. I dropped the table
Man, that's great.
and spilled a bunch of stuff on
Thank
it.
you, guys.
But this book was written, I've written 3 cookbooks from 2010, every 2 years, and then took a little break from it. This is John and I's first dual cookbook together, joint book. The recipes, like John was saying, are, you can get a recipe anywhere online, and there's a million recipes, but when you put a story around a recipe and because people ask us, where do you learn all your recipes? It's just
we learn
being around different people. We've got recipes in here with Pete, Hexeth, Ambassador Huckabee. I got a recipe from him back in 2010, repeated it in a couple of books, did a competition with him on his TV show, Huckabee Show. Our Fox friends in there, Travis Pastrana's in this book.
Yeah, so speaking of Good Boy, I know Daly doesn't have one in there yet. Book number 2.
We'll have to make that happen. Yeah.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
But we met Travis Pastrana at Daytona when he raced 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago. And there's a picture in there of us in hot dog suits. So every recipe has its own individual story.
I love that.
So Pastrana's in there. I know he works for Good Boy. And then our whole family, my grandmothers, my sisters, everybody has their own recipe in there in the book, and they have their own story. So
what was funny about that particular recipe with Travis is each year we're at Daytona, and we met Ed at Daytona. And right next to us, each time we're there, there's a different sponsor. I don't know why. We tried to get that spot next to us, but this particular year, this little camper pulls up, and these guys, get out of their camper.
it was a rented camper.
And it was just part of his team. And he comes out with this case of 200 beef hot dogs. He has no grill, no buns, no condiments, nothing. He has
Just hot dogs.
200 hot dogs at the sponsor.
If you know Travis, he's a lot like us. He just, let's just bring the hot dogs.
So-
Figure it
Hot
out.
dogs and Red Bull.
So I was like,
Yes.
I meet everybody that's my neighbor at a NASCAR race, which is obviously where we met you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, so how are you cooking your hot dogs? We're going to go to Walmart and buy a $14 grill and get some charcoal. And I was like, just give me the hot dogs. They're like, you want me to give you your hot dogs? I was like, yeah.
And we were setting up for Fox. We had grills
I
everywhere.
was like, we'll cook the hot dogs for you.
He's a Maryland guy. He probably
like-
tried to boil them.
Yeah. So
Little Old Bay.
So I said, what time are y'all going to be back? They said, 5 o'clock. I was like, great. So I put 200 hot dogs on our smoker and smoked them. Well, 5 o'clock went to 6 o'clock, went to 7 o'clock. They're qualifying. They're behind. I just left them smoking. And the guy finally showed up and he said, well, we didn't get no hot dog buns. So I was like, I got you covered. So we took the hot dog, smoked, cut them into little bite-sized pieces, threw them on our griddle on the Gravity Series grill, seasoned them with some barbecue rub, hot sauce and Alabama white sauce, and just tossed them like rice.
Yeah.
And did a hot dog burn-in bite. They said it was the best hot dog. Changed their life. I was like, when a hot dog changes your life, it's a good hot dog.
That's a hot
That's indicative.
And that story is
Yeah. So that's indicative of our journeys, though, because some of the best recipes are almost mistakes because you're just in that environment. One of the recipes was Rick Rightmuth. We were on live television, and he was like, could you make a smoked mac and cheese patty burger? On live TV, we took a cast iron skillet, turned it over, fried it on a griddle, made it up on live TV, made the book. And so that's kind of indicative of like our journey because it's just fly by the seat. We're your everyday rednecks that we try to come up with cool things, and it's the people we meet along the way.
Great job. Who has been probably the most influential from the recipe perspective? So, your dad?
For me.
For you? For sure. How about a guest, someone you've met where you think, you know what, I had no idea that person could cook like that?
Ooh.
So my mom and dad would be first because that's where I learned to cook in the backyard. Fried fish with my dad, my mom doing all her recipes. But probably the most influential person in my life would be Paula Deen.
Oh, yeah.
Met Paula at QVC. She took me under her wing and for some reason loved on me like nobody's business. Today, she is just such a dear friend. And got to cook with her in Chicago on the Go Ho stage. That was pretty intimidating. And then quick story about Paula. I call her up. This has just been within the last year. And I was like, hey, Paula, I want some advice. And she said, I'd asked her about some of the things we're doing. She said, sweetie, whatever you do not get in the catering business. I was like, because we're not caterers. I mean, we cook and we do
like barbecue entertainment, TV and stuff.
But we don't cater. We get friends to help us cater the big masses, and we do a cooking show. So I was like, okay, Paula, great advice. And she said, what, anything else you need? I said, no, ma'am. I said, I think we're coming to see you pretty soon. She said, you're coming to my Bag Lady event? Because they did a Bag Lady fundraiser. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you bringing your RV? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, will you cater my dinner?
What do you say? Yes.
She had 75 people show up to this thing. So I was like, Paula, we don't cater, but we will cater for you.
Yeah.
And we parked our RV in her front yard, catered for her event. So that's probably the most influential part in my life.
Yeah, Paula has been just an amazing friend. A couple people probably. I mean, Steve Ducey wrote the 4-drawer cookbook.
He has a cookbook,
and he has some number one bestseller
in the world,
number one cookbook in the world. And I think so. He, you see him on TV, just phenomenal cook. Governor Huckabee, Ambassador Huckabee now, fantastic cook. Man, we've met so many. I mean, we got
Lane's Barbecue.
Lane's Barbecue.
We've learned to cook briskets through Ryan Lane.
Lane's Barbecue. They're at Bethlehem, Georgia. Lane's Barbecue. They make they do cater.
So
you've heard,
Aikens Ford does all this stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, just Ryan Lane is just a phenomenal cook. He loves food and loves serving people. And then Lane's Barbecue came out with rubs and sauces, and they actually co-pack our rubs.
Yeah.
So those Lane's does.
And that was a prime example about us not catering. We emceed the Smith & Wesson grand opening a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And called Ryan Lane. They came up and catered the 500-seat dinner.
Yeah.
And John and I cooked tomahawk steaks and just did a show. So that's kind of how we want to do it, is get those guys to do what they do best, and then we do what we do best.
To that point, we've met so many people along the way that have their own individual little take on food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for our journey, there's been a couple of really influential people. He's influential to me because I've learned everything from him. But it's all these individual stories that we've met people, and they do their wing this way. And we met this guy who does his pork butt this way. We met Ryan Lane who does his brisket this way. And we take all those little nuggets and we've kind of put them into either the book or what we do.
Or put all three of them together.
And put 3 of them together.
All I can say is that sausage y'all gave us the other night, I was going to go dig my grandma up and slap her.
See, that was kind of an accidental recipe.
Man, it was...
Well, that's before y'all, started causing trouble and get kicked out.
Before we
don't need to put that on the podcast.
Before we get off the podcast, we got to talk about how we both got kicked out of Talladega.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
That was good. And I'd like to give a shout out to your buddy that brought the meat.
Yeah.
They're out of San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Santos, right?
Santos, Petronas, Seguin, Texas, Ray.
Made some of the best meat. Bro. It's that steak, that strip. So tender.
What's cool about our journey is we've learned so much from other people. And Ray, he goes by Ray. His dad's Ray Thomas. He's Ray Thomas Jr. And they have Santos Petronas. They do full-blood Wagyu. So a lot of people out there don't know really the difference, but there's mixed blood, and then you've got what you see Choice and Prime at the grocery store. This is full-blood Japanese Wagyu, but born and bred and produced here in America. They're one of maybe 10 or 12, don't quote me on the number, ranches out of like 2,200 plus ranches in America that do full-blood Wagyu.
Oh, we're fact checkers.
And fact checkers, yeah.
We'll get that fact checked.
Thank you, CNN. It's supposed to be independent fact checkers, but we all know the truth. So, but they do full-blood Wagyu, and we got connected to them from other friends of ours. Mm-hmm. And one phone call led to we went out and saw them and got to see their ranch, which is gorgeous. Which I think he invited y'all to come out there and stay, and maybe even do a podcast. Yeah. But they started sending us meat, and it blew our minds how good their Wagyu is.
Yeah.
And, of course, they do anything from 30 to 50+% marbling and all. You can get into the technicals. But they sent us meat last year for Daytona,
Yeah. So
Talladega, and we served RC. And he's like, I don't care what we do. We got to have y'all back. And then that turned into, we've now cooked for RC 4 times with Santos. We've won 3 races.
that was so much fun. So we had met Richard Childress the year before. I'd met him in years past, but like really developed a friendship with him a couple years ago. And emceed an event in his vineyard. And I called RC because we were already planning to be in Daytona. And he just randomly picked up. Hadn't talked to him since the event at his house or his vineyard. And I said, hey, Mr. Childress, we're going to be in Daytona. You want us to cook for you? He said, hell yeah. I was like, okay, so what does that mean? He says, I don't know. I'll get somebody to get in touch with you. So I hang the phone up. I tell Tanya, I was like, okay, I just talked to RC or Richard. At the time, I was calling him Mr. Childress.
Yeah.
Now we call him RC. And she said, are you like seriously going to cook for him? I was like, hey, he said he's going to have somebody get in touch with me. She said, well, we'll see. An hour later, his marketing team calls, set it all up. We load a grill on the back of a golf cart, take it to their marketing bus,
because we're at
take
the race.
some welding gloves. And I told them, I was like, guys, if we cook for y'all, we're not going to cook it and just put it out there for y'all to eat.
Y'all gotta come
So we
with
put some welding gloves on the team members, and they're flipping tomahawk steaks, and RC shows up, and I had just cut a tomahawk bone off of one of the big 4-pound tomahawk steaks. I wrapped it in a napkin. He grabs a hold of it, and he's walking away from the grill, and he takes a bite of it. He stops in his track, and he turns around, and he says, oh my God. It just shocked his senses. So instead of just finishing eating it, he gets on his golf cart, walks through pit road, eating this tomahawk steak.
True story.
Well, he can do whatever.
Somebody takes a picture of him and posted it on all the Fox channels.
No. So we had, somebody took a picture of him, and we had a couple other photos. And I was like, we're always talking to Fox, and I sent it to one of my producers.
That's right.
And I was like, hey, we're cooking with RC. Would love to do a segment with y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, this was Saturday. And we might have done a segment. I can't remember. Fox sent it to their digital team and tweeted it. We did not have a Twitter account or X account. And the next thing you know, our Twitter was below, because Fox has got like 30 million Twitter followers.
Internet wins again.
And
our Twitter's blowing up. I'm like, we don't even really have a Twitter. We have one. We never posted
it
anything.
says legendary NASCAR owner
And it's a picture
Richard
of him in
Childress
the pits eating
the best steak of his life. And then people were commenting. They saw the pits
funny.
with it. So that story goes into, he said, hey, let's have y'all in Talladega. We go to Talladega. We actually win at Talladega. I say we because now we're on the team.
Yeah.
We go to Charlotte. We don't win in Charlotte, but we go back to Talladega and win there again. In fact, the 21 car, Austin Hill, had won Daytona or Talladega 4 straight times.
Yeah.
And 2 of those were with us. So while we're in Charlotte, Richard's bus driver, Hillbilly, comes by. Hillbilly.
He's a good one.
He's my new favorite person next to you.
He smacks my butt every time with him. I don't understand it.
I had to get his phone number before I left there.
Hillbilly said, all right, so I understand we're scheming up getting some of this beef on the jet to go with Richard.
Oh my gosh.
Because Richard said, hey, going on a hunt with Johnny Morris from Bass Pro. You think we can take some of that with us? So we wrapped up 2 tomahawk steaks, some comeback sauce, a 5-pound beef tenderloin, pre-smoked it, wrapped it up real good, stuck it in a cooler, gave it to Hillbilly, put it on their jet. They took it hunting in Utah with them. The following Monday, RC calls me and says, all right, how am I going to finish this steak off? So I'm telling him how to finish it off. They ate on it Monday night, Tuesday night. And they had a little bit left over, and Johnny Morris said, I'm taking that with me. So he wrapped it back up.
It sounds like they need to take you guys on the trip with them.
So
That's what I told him. I'm like, you ain't even got to get instructions that time. Just have us there.
I'm going to go back to Talladega story. So RC walks around, right, eating the tomahawk bone. He asked Hillbilly, because Hillbilly now just shows back up at our RV, and he's like, hey, RC wants a plate, so we'll just make him a plate. And he takes it, puts it in his RV, and he eats at dinner. He said, RC wants a plate. We didn't have anything, so we just had one more tomahawk that was pre-smoked, or it was fully cooked. And so we just gave him the tomahawk. He goes, puts it in his bus, and later that night, Dad gets a text from RC of a picture of RC eating the whole tomahawk in his bus after the race. And Dad was like, how'd you heat it back up? He said, I stuck it in the microwave. I was like, that was a $300 Wagyu tomahawk steak. He said, yeah, it was still real good. I'm like, dude.
Oh, Richard is the best too.
Oh,
He is
was
the
awesome.
best.
I mean, I only got to meet that. But, I mean, the minute after we met, then that next day when I come walking up with Gus, he's like, "What are you doing over here, little boy?" He's like, he's good one.
I tell you,
That's awesome.
one of the coolest compliments I think I've ever had, is we were cooking at RC's Vineyard 2.5 weeks ago before Charlotte for the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation. RC was like, hey, would y'all come cook for this? Again, Paula told us not to cater, and we end up catering. Great event. RC's Vineyard's beautiful. We dog and pony show. We had people throwing tomahawks on the grill and all that stuff. And Mr. Morris, I'll tell this story. Mr. Morris walks up, because we've met him a few times. And of course, I'm like, I wonder if he'll remember me. Well, he walks up and like with a big smile on his face and goes to shake my hand and like grabs me by the neck like my grandfather would. I said, how you doing, Mr. Morris? And he pulls me and said, if you call me Mr. Morris one time, I'm gonna kick your tail. I said, what do you mean call you? He's like, you can call me Pal. So then he asked us to sign a book for him, so I signed his book, Pal. And
Mr. Pal.
Mr. Pal.
That's pretty good.
So we're talking about the steak where we feed him, and he stops in his track when he ate the beef tenderloin. And he said, that was pretty good. Man, that's good. He came back to Dad afterwards and like shook his hand and said, I've been all over the world, from Ruth's Chris to you name it. That's the single best piece of meat I've ever put in my mouth. And it made me almost cry.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
a compliment.
That's a compliment right there. And he is.
And that's why we went to Talladega.
And
we weren't even scheduled.
We weren't scheduled to go. And Johnny was mad he couldn't have our food at Charlotte. Johnny called RC and said, I don't care what y'all got to do. Y'all got to have them guys back, which is kind of how we got kicked out of Talladega, because they gave us one of their driver's buses spot.
Yeah.
And then security Security found out that we weren't supposed to be in that spot, and they made us move.
Yeah.
Kind of what happened to us on Sunday.
And then y'all
almost got kicked out. Y'all, you did get kicked out. Y'all were with the team.
We were with Richard. Richard walked us in. And then we get over there, and Mike Dylan, he's over there, and he stayed there. You know, the security guy comes up, and he says,
We talking about no thumb Mike?
yes, no time.
No, it's on Mike. Yeah.
And he comes walking up, and he's like, y'all got to go. And Mike's like, they're with us. And he goes, I don't care. Y'all got to go.
That's crazy.
We had to go. He pushed us. He kept saying, you going to go this way? You going to go that way? You going to go this way? And I was like, look, we're just going out this way. He was rough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I love the story, the progression coming from welding and building your own equipment to cooking and to branding yourselves as a brother team to writing books, rubs. What's next? What's next in the pipeline? What are we going to have?
What can we talk about? Because we've got.
You can talk about anything. You're with friends.
So
go ahead and give us your dark secrets and break the news here.
So my phone number and social So I'll tell you what we're working on. We've got some things we're working on with America 250. Their committee called us up a couple months ago and said, hey, we'd love for y'all to be, pitmaster influencers for Trump's America 250 celebration. So next year, it's about an 18-month celebration. We're talking about doing some events with them. We've got a new sauce coming out, which is the comeback sauce that y'all had.
Yeah.
We're talking with Bass Pro about doing some things. We're talking with NASCAR about doing some things. We just unofficially, I guess, signed up to be RCR's pitmasters for next year. And then, this is in the works. It may or may not happen. So if it doesn't happen, don't hate me. But we're working on a TV show with Fox Nation that's going to celebrate America 250. And really what I was telling you before this, the concept behind the show, because Dad, we've gotten approached by some production agencies and things to, man, y'all got it. Y'all got to do a show. And we've kind of said no because the idea of reality TV is just not appealing to us. We love what we do. We want it to be real. And we've kind of said, if we're going to do a show, I want to watch my own show. I don't want to just say yes to a show because you got a network saying something, right? And we've kind of taken our time, and we've put together some concepts that we're like, man, we're really excited about this. But the idea is outside of, doing a race at the San Diego track for America 250, or we're maybe talking about doing the UFC fight at the White House or Super Bowl. Outside of that, what we wanted to do was tell veteran stories. So because we had the pleasure of working with some of these amazing nonprofits, and it's the stories, right? The wounded veterans, and I know y'all know this, they have the best sense of humor, and they are the greatest dudes. The vets that we meet, like you guys, just have they're just our family. Yeah. But we wanted to try to find a place to tell their stories, and then them and their family, and just the sacrifice they've given our country. So the idea behind the show is celebrating America, but in each episode, we want to have a veteran be a part of that episode with us, and then actually work with active duty or vets to help us serve our communities. So that's kind of the idea. Who knows if it'll actually turn out to be a show, but that's probably the next big project.
I mean, the best event they're going to have is they're going to cook at the Georgia game.
November 15th, baby.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Georgia,
It's gonna be the
Texas. We're taking the Tiffin with the big old McLemore Boys logo on it up to Georgia.
All right. So y'all do know I'm an Alabama fan.
Oh, man.
That's rough.
And I am coming to support the Georgia Bulldogs because I'm an SEC fan.
Yeah.
I love the Bulldogs as long as they're not in contention with us, playing Alabama, which is a bone with him and you, for what is it, 9
We
years?
can't never win.
Huh?
We can't never win.
On my motorhome, on the front of my motorhome,
Good, dude.
I did not have a tax. We go to
A front tag, yeah.
a front tag. We go to Valdosta and stay at my cousin's house, and I park it like right in front of his house. We do our thing, and the next day we head to Florida. Well, it's such a long trip, I had to stop and get gas in it. I'm wearing a big red Alabama
So good.
hoodie, pumping gas in my RV.
Leaning up against the
Leaning up against the very front of the RV, and this guy walks in front of the RV, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Hey, man, you confused?"
And Dad's like,
I was like,
what?
I don't think I'm confused. He said, you look pretty confused. I'm like, okay, whatever. I get in the RV, go to Florida, and stay at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida. And in this particular campsite, you pull up to it, and the tiki bar is in front. And I'm sitting in the tiki bar, and I look at the front of my RV, and there's a Georgia tag that he snuck on the front of my RV. And I was like, that's why that guy said I was confused.
It was on there for over a year.
It's still on it.
Yeah.
That's the love I have for a son. Alabama fan leaves Georgia tag on the front of it. It is black and red.
Oh, yeah.
I've cried 2 times in my life after with sports. And it was when we lost in 18
Yep.
on the last play.
I was
And
in that
then-
end zone when that happened.
And
It was
then
not fun.
when we did finally when Kirby's 1-7 against Bama, he finally beat them in the championship game. He came over to my house after the game.
Wait. We go to the SEC game together,
Oh, bro, that was rough.
which was, I'm with 7 Georgia fans. And it was bittersweet for me because, I'm amongst all of the Georgia fans, and every time Alabama would do something good, I'm like, do I like celebrate, like get in a fight sitting right here, or so I can contain myself. Georgia loses. Obviously, we go to the national championship, replay the script. John's like, "Dad, I'm sorry. I love you. I got to be alone." He watches the whole game by himself at his house.
Yeah.
And we live right next door to each other at the time. 2 minutes left in that game when y'all intercepted the ball.
Yeah.
I knew the game was over. I walked over to his house, and the boy cried in my home.
We hugged.
I was like,
So
it was the
man.
greatest loss I've ever had.
I'm 1-7 watching Alabama Georgia games with him. The one win was when I didn't watch it with him.
So
And we threw 2 Pediatric Cancer Foundation fundraising tailgates the last 2 years. Just for whatever reason, we decided to pick the Georgia-Alabama game to throw those tailgates. And I'm watching it with my team and all the family members, and I got to behave. And we lose both of them.
It didn't work. Team, did he
Anyway.
behave? No.
No. Y'all's review. No. So you asked what's next. Man, we're so incredibly blessed right now. I think working, we talked to Tunnel to Towers. We're talking with USO about a big fundraise next year program. We work with so many amazing charities. We're excited to work with yours, with Community First. We got a big event tonight that we're excited to be here to support. And working with vets, active duty or wounded veterans, the potential show, I mean, that's cool, right? I mean, that's fun. But the idea that we get to do this, I mean, I'm constantly coming up with ways like, okay, how do we grow or how do we strategically do this? Because we're a business. We got to make money. But to be able to have a successful business to where we can give back and the things that we love doing the most is being able to cook. I like the one-on-one, getting to know you. And
It's an experience.
100%.
For us coming to the tailgate, it was an experience.
And
I wasn't just waiting for food. I was there right next to you.
I love it.
And you just turn around and be like, put this in your mouth. And I would. And it was great. It was some of the best food I've ever had.
And I think
Some of
that's
the best food I've ever had. I like the Paul's.
Ever.
But like, that's probably what's next for us is I think we're going to continue doing that because that's what fills our bucket. I mean, getting to feed people and seeing their reaction and like that moment of shock is amazing. Getting to meet you guys. And
I think our 2026 schedule will be a little more buttoned up than 2025. 2025 has been kind of like reactionary, things just happening, and we'll always be doing things on the fly. But we are looking to do a NASCAR tour next year. We'll definitely do some of the military base tours next year, fundraisers, rallies. So I don't want to be gone 52 weeks out of the year because I do love being on the farm, being on my tractor. So we got to balance that.
Yeah, I want to share this real quick. So, one of the coolest things we've ever done, outside of ending up in an underground speakeasy with Flo Rida. That was a cool
We
experience.
got to hear this story.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's another story. We were at Fox. He was playing the next morning.
Yep.
We met him. He texted me the night before. Said, "Hey man, we're gonna be getting in. Y'all want to come hang?" And I can safely say this because I know Flo. He's one of the greatest human beings ever. I'm like, why you want to hang out with two white boy rednecks?
Okay,
And
so we're in Manhattan. We're at Fox, close to the plaza. It's 11 o'clock. I am getting into bed because we got to be up at 3 o'clock the next morning to cook at Fox at 4. And John calls and says, "Hey man, you want to go hang out with Flo?" I was like, "Is this a joke?" He's like, "No, they just called."
yeah,
Like he's like, this is what he said. He's like, "Dad, you don't have to go." So I'm like,
but I'm going.
I was like, so unknowing where we're going,
He's like, oh, okay.
I put my clothes back on because I can't go naked. I put on a camo shirt, a brown hat like this, and get an Uber. An hour drive
over our Uber
to Queens to some, we don't even know where. I couldn't go there right now if we had to.
It looked like a storefront for a money laundering operation is what it looked like. And then you go through the door, down and thing, this beautiful speakeasy just like this place.
There was one other Caucasian in the building. Caucasian with John and I. He was at our table. And we sit there for 2 or 3 hours.
Like knee to knee with Flo and his team.
He is a great
And what's funny is
It's amazing.
our sales pitch, we brought the book because he asked me to bring give him a signed book. So we got a picture with Flo in the speakeasy. So that outside of that, I don't know where I was going with that.
You were telling me one story, and then we got sidetracked. The Flo Rida story.
Here's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
It gets worse when you get older, don't worry.
I got distracted by the Flo Rida.
way
story.
worse.
Here's a question then. If probably a two-part.
Okay.
One as far as being business owners, and the other one from the cooking side. what is the best piece of advice you can give to someone that's coming up and learning how to grill and wanting to be a quote unquote grill master? And the next part of that question is from the side of running a business. What are some of the mistakes you made and advice you would give to people getting in the, starting their own company, running a business, something maybe that you guys wish someone had given you along the way?
On the business side, I would say don't be afraid to take risks. You got to have calculated risk. But so many people in business don't do it because they're scared of failing.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant enough to try something because I don't really know that I can or can't do it, which means I'll just try it. Surround yourself with great people.
Smarter people than yourself.
Unless you sit behind a computer and trade stock, you can be a one-man success story or one-woman success story. But my career was because I had great people that were way smarter than I was at doing all the things that I was not good at doing.
Yeah.
Our team right now with the McLemore Boys is there's things that they can do that I can't do. There's things he can do that I cannot do. So I think it's just really, don't be afraid to take risks, surround yourself with great people, and at any opportunity that you have, just like we do with y'all, try to find people in your life that you can get some advice and have be your mentor. When I was early in my career, young and dumb, had no idea how to be a CEO of a company, especially a family business, never graduated. Didn't go to college, barely graduated from high school, third grade reading level, dyslexic. How in the world am I going to run a business?
Four-time bestseller cookbook author now.
And
How about that?
I would find older people that I could just go to breakfast with, go to lunch with, and just pull information from them.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say, I don't know how to do this. Help me understand. Instead of just saying, I think I'm cocky enough to know more than anybody else, lay the fences down and just learn.
Dad, what's the perfect job?
The perfect job is the job you love to do so much you'd be willing to do it for free, but you do it so dadgum good they pay you.
I love that.
Perfect job.
I tell you, a friend of ours who just retired from Fox, because I've got a lot of these learning lessons of like, man, I've learned this and it helped me in this, but we were doing this year, it wasn't July 4th, it was Father's Day. And this year with Fox for us has been up and down just because you had Israel, Iran, you had the Texas flooding, and it's hard to do the fun barbecue stuff when you got breaking news going on. So we haven't been on as much this year. And I'd spent like 2 months working this big segment for Father's Day. We're a father-son. This was a big deal for us. There was a lot of money on the line. And we get up the next morning and we set up for our segment. We had all the costs in it. We had all this sort of stuff. And Israel was in the middle of a ballistic missile attack. And they had to cancel our segment, which rarely happens. And I wanted to throw up. And this was this year. And we have I'd say a fairly successful business. I wanted to throw up. And I was just bummed. And a friend of mine came out and he said, I'm going to give you some advice. He's like, a lot of people don't have the stomach to do this. And he's talking to me a little bit more about the TV personality side, especially what we do, because it is a lot of risk, high reward, high risk. And he said, but those that, make it, they're great people. They're good at their craft, but it's persistence. And I've learned, because I'm like him in the sales side, I just do not take no for an answer. And it might not necessarily be like, I'm going to not take a no from you, but I exhaust. I'm a grinder from my perspective. So that level of persistence, I think, has helped me, especially with what we do, because man, we grind, we work, but it's that inability to take no for an answer. And I don't know how I'm going to figure it out, but man, we're going, and sometimes patience too, because I know that's contradictory of like grinding, but patience. But God has closed doors for us in this 4-year journey with the McLemore Boys. I don't know how to be a CEO. I've learned from him, but I'm learning on the job too when first time CEO. what's crazy is we've gain a brand deal and lose a brand deal, and balancing the books and like, man, I don't know how we're going to do this and make payroll, and us not cutting a salary just to, those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And God will close a door. We had it happen this past week with a certain thing. God closed the door, and I tell my team all the time, we're good. We don't know it yet. We don't see it yet. God's got us. Do the right things behind closed doors. Put a smile on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't act out and all that stuff. Don't be a diva. Just do the right thing, and it will pay off. Yeah, it will pay off. And I'll be dang.
Johnny, is that what I saw you say?
Don't be a diva. I said, yeah, Johnny.
But every time when we have something bad kind of happen, you're like, what are we going to do? It's just a little patience. Keep grinding, because there's always something at the other end of it.
Yeah.
And that's tied to the first or second question there on the business side and on the recipe side. I would say it's almost kind of the same. When I would be with Paula, I would learn her techniques.
Mm-hmm.
When we would be with, at the time, Governor Huckabee, now Ambassador Huckabee, I was like, how do you cook your beef tenderloin or whatever the recipe is?
Don't cook Wagyu in the microwave.
Don't cook.
Rule number one.
Rule number one, RC. So just learn from those that are around you, and you can take a recipe and cook it the first time by the book, and then tweak it, make it your own recipe,
Sure.
which is kind of what we do.
You can get a recipe.
So I think, you just learn as you go. You got to have great quality meat if you want the best beef ever. That's why we do the Wagyu, Santos. You need a great product. Obviously, Masterbuilt, we say use a Masterbuilt grill. And then the technique in what we do is we smoke it, then we reverse sear it. So you can take a okay cut of meat and put some really good seasoning on it, and the right technique can make it a better cut of meat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination of all those things, and just experiment.
Yeah.
So
business and barbecue, I'll say this, is you gotta just do it. That sounds so simple, but there are people, especially in small business, or they got this idea, is they get decision fatigue and they don't know what to do. And I tell you, one thing that we're good at is we don't linger. I mean, we want to be strategic and talk about it, but we don't linger. We're like, all right, okay, we're going down that path.
he doesn't linger either.
President Trump,
Anywhere.
he does. He does. He just made out like,
The longest he's ever been in one spot is on a podcast.
we're going this way. But
You have to tie him down.
President Trump does the same thing. One of my favorite quotes was George Bush was like, what makes a great president? He said, I decide.
I'm a
decider.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this because that's what I feel like he did. But is as a CEO, whether small business or big, just make a decision. Your indecision is your decision sometimes. Yeah. And that's not good for business. It's not good for barbecue. You got to just do it, commit to it. Even if you make a mistake, make a loud mistake, learn from it, and move on. And cooking's the same way. Is that people are like, how do you cook the best steak? I'm like, well, how do you like your steak? You just got to start cooking steak, man. You just got to do a couple butts, do a couple briskets. You just got to learn. You just got to do it.
Similarities in tactics as well. I've taught this at the highest level,
Yeah.
In the SEAL teams and now to cops. I always say right decision, wrong decision, indecision.
Oh, man.
What makes us great at what we do isn't because we always make the right decision, but when we make the wrong decision, we fix it.
Correct.
The worst thing you can do in a tactical situation is indecision. Mm-hmm. And that's when people get killed.
Yep.
So it's the similarities, a little uncanny.
Yeah, I mean, life or death, that's much more important.
But it's a fundamental principle.
But a fundamental principle, I think, for success is people get stuck in this, oh, man, I don't know. I got all these things I got to make up your mind and just go do it. And you see Trump doing that with the presidency right now in the country. Just make a decision.
So where can people buy your product? Where can they go get grills? Where can they get your rubs, your book?
The McLemoreBoys.com. That's our website, has all of our products and a lot of our stuff on there. Our book, we do original books are hand signed, our rubs. So, and then socials is the same. The McLemore Boys right there, baby.
And we'll put the links on when we release this as well.
The book's sold in most bookstores across the country.
Are you guys on Amazon yet?
Yeah, on Amazon and the McLemoreBoys.com.
Okay. So last night we had a fun time, and before we go, I want to bring it up. As a Stain fan growing up.
Oh, bro.
Able to see John Rich and Aaron Lewis on the stage with a couple of
I was fanboy when we walked.
legends.
I was sitting there with them,
Unbelievable.
taking a picture, and I was
Blown
like,
away.
this guy walking in, and I was like, that's Aaron Lewis. He walks by me, and I'm like, what am I gonna say? I'm like, how you doing, sir? Have a good night, sir.
Yeah.
So we went to this Cash Patel fundraiser for his organization, which we support. And of course, at John Rich's house, he's going to get up there and play some songs for us, and it was pretty epic. But you guys got a little a parting gift, it seems like.
We did. So the artist,
Erica Arntz.
Yep.
She's a friend of ours.
So there was this amazing painting there that I wanted to part with. So we bid on this thing to support the foundation last night. Ended up winning the bid, and Erica.
We do. Josh knows her. We know her.
So we're gonna have her come out to our farm and maybe do something like this, get something in there for freedom. Another story about things like this and who you meet and what you do. We're in Daytona 2 years ago. Dan Bongino and his wife Paula come by our RV with Pete and the Fox team, hang out for a couple of hours. So when we got this last night, I texted that to them this morning saying, hey, we got this. Love to see you guys again.
Yeah.
If we did not do what we do, we would not have those opportunities. And Dan was phenomenal, dude. So to have that guy helping this country, Cash and what he is doing to be in charge.
And his foundation was pretty incredible to see them talk about the foundation. I was learning more about it, helping vets, obviously helping through their journey or their struggles and what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that along with John Rich and Aaron Lewis. I mean, I'm a Stain fan, and getting to see him was like my favorite part was their, I love John Rich. He talks, he tells good stories, and the other guy's telling good stories, and he's like, Aaron, what you got to say? And he goes, hi.
Hi. Yeah.
But you
that
playing music, man.
That right there, though, when you ask about business and what's next and what we do and what we recommend, leadership is everything. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And if, fight, and everything that you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's all taking this
I'm
home.
going to tell you a cool story about this. So Erica, she was pretty well known, but she's got when this happened, and I don't know if it's still in Atlanta, but she painted this mural on the wall in Atlanta. And this is where this was based from.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Of course not that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she painted this whole thing on a thing. And that's kind of what got people wanting her to be on their shows and things like that.
It's great.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Well, congrats to you guys for the winning bid.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having us,
Of
man.
course.
This was fantastic. So,
I
know we can tell all
connection
stories.
thing here. So
Please.
when we were in Charlotte, I walk out the thing, and then I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I just told him, I said, you guys cook on Fox News or something, don't you? And he's like, yeah. And the first thing out of his mouth, we was talking about Georgia or something. And we said something about wrestling. First person he mentions, Judd Lorman.
Yeah.
So we did a show with.
I was like, man, I just met this guy named Judd because you mentioned AJ Styles. I was like, he wants me to come cook for AJ at his house. And he goes, I want you to come cook for AJ. We're all buddies, man. You're coming to cook. I was like, I met two people in the same week that knew AJ.
Yeah. So Judd and them did a show. We basically, they got to interview a guy that played in Navy SEAL on TV, and he got to interview people
That's cool.
they're real SEALs.
Yeah.
Any parting words? Something we didn't cover that you guys want to get out to the fans?
Man, we love our country. I mean, we're just rednecks, backyard barbecue rednecks, and we love our country. We love you guys. I mean, it's a pleasure and honor to be here talking, just sharing stories.
Well, I appreciate that, and it was
That,
great.
mine would be just thank you guys.
Thank y'all for your service.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Well, next time we want to have you back, but we want to do it while we're cooking.
Let's do it.
100%.
So, we should make that happen down in Georgia.
I'm
Let's
looking
go.
forward to hanging out with y'all tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to do some great things.
We're invited?
Well, thank you to the. What you got? What I miss?
No, I was just saying we're invited tonight.
Oh,
Hillbillies don't never stop talking.
yeah, I know. I was doing. Okay, all right, we're going to put all their socials and their website below, so go ahead and give them a follow and see how you can support. Give us a follow, too, if you're not already. So for me and Johnny, thank you. McLemore Boys, appreciate having you guys. You're the best. John Daly, John Daly's Nashville, Good Boy Vodka, and to our whole production team, thank you to everybody, and we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
I'm gonna trust myself. Oh, I'm gonna love myself. I'm